Hey guys, it's Nimbus. I am back today with another video. As always, it is free Palestine, free everybody, free Sudan, free Tigray, free everybody, free the Congo, free Haiti. Help everybody as well. I mean, at this point, do whatever you can. TikTok filters, calling your representatives, doing whatever you can. Participating in the strikes that are going on. There are plenty of people talking about this stuff. There's a general strike coming up, I think, soon. Yeah, so go find out about those things. Search on TikTok. I'm sure it's on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook as well. Twitter. Everybody's talking about it on Twitter. I'm sure you can find it on Twitter. I can't remember the specific day. I need to look at it again myself, but yeah. So do the little things. Keep talking about this. Keep bringing it up to your family members who get mad every time you say something about it, because they're the ones who need to hear it the most. I don't care how upset they get. I really don't. I again will ruin family dinners and ruin the night just to talk about what the fuck needs to be talked about. And just to ruin the night of somebody who doesn't want to listen. I will gladly. Anyway. And I did see a video earlier, I think that was today, it might have been last night, but she was talking about, we can't forget that these people who are doing these things are human, and that we can't rule out that they know exactly what the consequences of what they're doing is. And she was like, that's almost scarier. And I was like, yeah, that is, because what's going on now, it seems like everybody knows exactly what's gonna happen. And we gotta make something change. But yeah. I don't want to go too far into that again. As usual though, I am donating tips from my videos. So if you guys want to donate at all, go ahead and do that. If you wanted to tip me, take your money and donate to wherever it is that you want to donate. I say that because I'd rather you take the money, even if it's $3 or $4, like, you know what or even $1, like, you send it to where you want it to go. You know what I mean? Like, you can take that money and then send it to exactly the place that you want it to go. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry saying like, hey, I want this to go to whatever organization, whatever place. It can just be you donating whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I will be donating whatever tips I do get from videos as well. Just letting y'all know. If y'all insist that it's a tip, I guess I won't, but I probably still will. Shameless plug. My one-on-ones are open. I will be also donating a portion of what I make from one-on-ones to, first I will be donating to the PCRF, the Palestinian Children Relief Fund or Foundation. It's one of the two. And then after that, well, I got to make sure that the money's actually going to make it through to Palestine, and to Palestinian people who need the help. I'm slowly looking at different charities for the Congo and for Sudan, and for relief efforts for the various earthquakes in Afghanistan. So yeah, I'm only one person, so I can't donate to everywhere, but I mean, I want to. But yeah, I think we are going to get breathing if you guys would like to. If you guys don't want to breathe with me, go ahead and skip ahead to right here. If you guys do want to breathe with me, go ahead and put your feet flat on the floor. Go ahead and put your hands flat down on the table in front of you, or flat down in your lap. We are going to close our eyes and breathe in through our nose, out through our mouths, big deep breaths. I will be doing a little bit of a guided breathe. Well, it is a guided breathing. It's not a little bit of a guided breathing. I will be doing a guided breathing with you guys if you guys want to. You guys can breathe however fast or slow that you need to. This guided breathing just helps me get to where I need to get to for the reading, and I hope that it, or at least breathing together, can at least help us connect better for the video and for whatever message you need to receive and whatever message I need to give. So, cool. Without further ado, go ahead and close your eyes and we're gonna get started. Breathe in and out. In and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, last one. Out. Keep your eyes closed and just breathe normally here for a minute. Releasing any tension you may have. Your shoulders, your neck, anywhere in your legs, down to your toes. Take one more deep breath in and out. Okay, open your eyes and breathe normally. If you need more time, go ahead and pause it now. Otherwise, we are going to get started. We are going to do the Tarot of Trees today, and then we're going to do our Pride message at the end of this video. But yeah, we are going to do an energy check, just kind of a general energy check for the day. So yeah, let's see if I can get these cards to do. They're so short. These cards are so tiny. Anyway, okay, I tried. All right, Spirit, what messages do we have for today? What's the messages for our energy check today? We do have one card that already came out. Well, I guess that was before I even finished the question, so I guess I'll... Spirit, what's our message for our energy check today? Three of Cups just came out. Knight of Cups as well. Three of Cups. Knight of Cups. This feels like a very, like... There's a lot of growth happening right now, it feels like. Yeah, the Nine of Cups. The Star. There's a lot of growth happening, and it's really nice. It feels like you've kind of like finally accepted what it is Spirit has been saying to you, and almost kind of like kind of just accepted the direction that Spirit's been pushing you. Like if you've been called to like start a YouTube channel, or like to a card did just flip over. If you've been called to start a YouTube channel, or if you've been called to whatever, start talking on TikTok, or start, you know, just bringing stuff up to your parents or your friends or whatever it is, like down to even like quitting the dead-end job that you know that you're never going to work for, you're never going to get further with, or, you know, finding like maybe like you actually applied to the job that you knew was going to be the one, you know what I mean? Six of Swords reversed. It feels like you're finally over that energy of which way do I go? Do I, you know, I'm being told to go this way, but I know this, you know, so like it feels like you're finally accepting just because it's new doesn't mean it's going to hurt, and just because it's new, it can be scary, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to fall flat on my face and fail. Like, Four of Swords, exactly. You're going to fail at some point. It's inevitable. You're going to fail. But it's how we pick ourselves up, and it's how we build that foundation from when we do fail. How are we going to rebuild and come back up? I mean, how are we going to rebuild? How are we gonna make sure that we're okay after all else falls apart? If all we have is ourselves and us being with ourselves, how are we gonna feel about that? And how are we going to keep going forward with that feeling? But it feels like that's really, I know I was saying that, but it's not, it doesn't feel like that's where you are. It feels like that's where you were. Like it feels like that you've learned how to get through that. And it feels like that you're actually learning to rebuild the way that Spirit, I say Spirit, the universe, source, creator, whatever it is that you feel is necessary to call it, God, whatever you need to call it. But it feels like that you're finally listening to whatever the call was. King of Wands reversed. Oh my God, this is the Six of Wands reversed. I was saying Six of Swords the whole time. This is Six of Wands reversed. I apologize. And the King of Wands reversed as well. Nailed it. Nailed it. With the King of Wands reversed, it's almost like you've kind of surrendered to your passion. Like you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing now, and you're like actually trying to figure out what it means to pursue that. And like what it means, like, do you need to spend money to get some stuff? Do you need to excuse me, burp for confirmation. Like, right, Page of Swords reversed. Page of Swords reversed, sorry. Is there anything that you feel like you're missing, or that you don't feel like you are ready to use in those situations? And it feels like that those are the things that are kind of being called for you to focus on. Like, say you want to do a YouTube channel and you want to be a tarot reader. Like, you don't necessarily have to be a tarot reader for you to be on YouTube doing spiritual readings. Sorry, I meant spiritual readings, not specifically tarot readings. You don't have to be a tarot reader to do spiritual readings. You can use an obsidian mirror, you can use pendulums, you can use You can cast bones, you can cast dice, you can cast lots, you can do runes. There's so many oracle cards. There's so many different things that you can use, even down to like charms. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can literally use charms and cast charms and do that. Oh my goodness. The tower's on the bottom of the card of the deck. But again, it feels like that these are things that you've already learned to get through, and that one at a time, please, Spirit. And that it feels like the tower moment has already happened, and it feels like the star, like, it feels like there was a big pause between the tower moment actually crumbling everything and the star coming back out and like illuminating your path. Like, it feels like that maybe you were kind of looking for it, but like at the same time kind of just like, man, I don't even want to be here anymore. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Sorry, trigger warning. But it feels like now you have a much clearer sense of what it is you should be doing and even what you want to be doing. Like, the toxicity that had been there, it feels like maybe it's not necessarily completely gone, like, but it feels like it's drastically reduced to the point where you can actually like just take a breath of fresh air, like sit there and just be happy. Like, I can just exist for 2 seconds without dealing with anything ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, that's huge. Like, it's still huge to be able to just be happy and exist with yourself. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, and once you are that comfortable with yourself and with your path, the abundance and everything else will come. Right, 7 of Pentacles, it's all going to start blooming. Even if you feel like it's not, even if you feel like it's taking way too long, it's all going to start coming up because it's for you. You just have to be willing to accept it. The Devil. You do have to be wary of things coming up that could be addictions, or like, you know, there's a lot of chains on here, so it could just be like things that are, you know, chaining you to something that you shouldn't be chained to, like the toxicity. And toxicity in itself can be addicting because we get so used to it and so conditioned to just deal with it and be okay with it that we get, overwhelmed, and it kills us. But it gets to a point where it doesn't physically kill us. It gets at our soul. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like mentally and emotionally it's draining. But like deeper than that, it like gets you. You know what I mean? Like, but again, 3 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups were the first 3 cards that came up. Like, this is such a strong energy of like community and like coming together to make things better for each other. And it's almost like you, whoever's watching this, feels the need to do something for the community in a way that other people couldn't do for you. So it's almost like I have a friend who really wants to begin her own community center for various types of spiritualities and various other things that she very much enjoys. But she's doing that out of necessity because there isn't another one here. So I wonder if that's kind of like the sense of the things that you're picking up on are things that a lot of people are probably going through. And these are things that, I mean, obviously a lot of people go through toxicity and trauma and a lot of these other things, but it's almost like you are seeing the way to bring a community of people together and heal yourself in the process, to where that abundance can just grow and happen anywhere, and the addiction of the toxicity is kind of stifled because we're not in the Ten of Swords energy anymore, you know. When we get addicted to these things, to the toxicity and to the negativity and all of those things, we get, one card at a time, please. Nailed it. But we also get a lot of pain in the process, because it's not, we're going after things that aren't for us in the first place. We're not necessarily aligned to those things. You know, I'm not saying that nobody's ever aligned to a negative thing or a negative thought or anything like that, but I am saying that a lot of the people who get affected by it the most are the people who aren't there, and they're trying really hard to get through that, but they keep getting pulled back and dragged back. But it genuinely feels like that whoever's watching this is like finally like pulling themselves out of the quicksand, like finally got a branch to grab hold of, and is finally able to pull themselves out. Like, you know, you're not in the clear yet, but you've definitely overcome a major hurdle. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. The Six of Pentacles, like in reverse. You've definitely been able to overcome a lot of the scarcity aspect of, like, yeah, King of Cups as well just came out. You've been able to overcome the scarcity feeling and the negative feeling of, well, if I can't be here, where do I go? You know what I mean? And it feels like you've really figured out how to navigate by yourself, but for yourself as well. And to really like advocate for yourself in a way that, excuse me, burp for confirmation again, that gets you advocate for yourself now in a way that gets you to where you know that you should be. You know, actually asking your boss for a raise, or actually telling somebody how what they just did really made you upset, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like actually speaking up and actually making sure that you are heard, and actually doing the difficult things that everybody wants to do, but a lot of people are scared to. The World reversed. It feels like there's definitely Seven of Cups reversed as well on the bottom of the deck. It feels like there's this energy of still stuck in the middle. Okay, I see why this is such a back and forth reading. You might be still stuck in the middle. Like the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups and Nine of Cups feel like where like right now is where like you're actually going. But then it feels like that all of this other stuff, like the Devil, the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles reversed, and the World reversed, it feels like you kind of like get pulled back into that because of, you know, I don't know if it's memories or if it's just, you know, you wish things were different, whatever it is. This is a very pivotal moment. You're either able to move forward and find your community and find the things that you desperately want and need, but it's also that you could just as easily fall back into the old habits. And, you know, healing is a constant journey, but we also need to remember that just because we're healing doesn't mean that the things that we're healing are done with and over with. We're still going to get affected, and we're still going to get triggered, and we're still going to, like, you know, we're still going to blow up over the little things that we didn't think were still going to get us. You know what I mean? It's not an overnight thing. And we have to go through kind of like this cycle of back and forth almost of, you know, you realizing, are you upset, or are you, you know, are you upset because you got triggered? Are you upset because you need something? What, like, what's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get to the pride message in a second, but I feel like that with this, it's almost like the sense of community is I'm sorry. Mid-sentence and I totally lost it. I apologize. Let me get some water. Stay hydrated. I totally lost that little bit of the message. I'm gonna move on to the pride message. If I remember what I was saying, it'll probably come back up if it's important. But if I remember what I was saying, I will say it out loud. But as for right now, let's do our pride message for December 14th. Spirit, what's our pride message for our energy check for today? Okay. We got the pride flag, and it says bravery. Recognize and respect what you have achieved. This journey of self-discovery will continue to test your courage, so acknowledge the strength you have mustered thus far and keep pushing forward. It's exactly what I was saying. I kind of remember now. There's with the back and forth thing, the push and pull of the new habits and the old habits, you're gonna be like tested on what it is that you want. Do you actually want to move forward and get rid of these old habits, or are you going to just fold every single time and go right back to these things? Like, it takes bravery and a lot of strength to actually move forward. But that's the other thing that I was saying about the growth. Like, there's a lot of growth happening. The Seven of Pentacles, this one, the Seven of Pentacles, it's growing up in snow. And to me, that's like growing regardless of the circumstances. Like, you're gonna be growing and producing and abundant throughout winter. If you are able to get through this, you will be able to be abundant throughout winter. You will be able to have whatever you need and probably whatever you want as well, even when stuff isn't as busy as, you know, working every single day or something like that. You know what I mean? You'll be able to either make like passive income or something. Okay, well, since both of those just got knocked out, we'll get that one, which is expression. Your voice deserves to be heard. Discover creative ways to express yourself to those who would normally overlook your potential. And I say this all the time, but the more that you express yourself authentically, you invite other people to do the same. So the more that you do that for yourself, you are opening up space for other people to come in and do the same. And then on that note, or on that side, I guess, you are also opening up, or they are also opening up the space for you to come into and to be yourself as well. So it's like a give and take of, like an actual give and take in a relationship. Like you both actually enjoy the company of each other because you're both being authentic. You're both not putting up a front just to say, you know, or just to act how you think they want you to act. You know what I mean? And then we got gay toothpaste again. Euphoria. Pure bliss and relief await you. Doubt and confusion may have taken residence at your core. It's time to accept your identity and wear it proudly. Be authentically yourself. It is euphoric. It's like you feel like you can go forward and move further past this and get through this and like really like get over it and let it go. But it's almost like something is really dragging you back, which is something that happens with old habits. Like you have to learn how to get through it and learn other habits that are more healthy for you. You know what I mean? So, you know, the temptation is not going to stop. The temptation of these things are not going to stop. I feel like it's really important to remember that when we actually are able to embody what we really want to be for ourselves, I mean, again, it shows everybody else that they can do the same, but it really helps us to see where we kind of fit in easier. And with that, then also kind of illuminates at least a little bit of our path. Like, it might just be like the start of it, like that's where you go to begin. But at the same time, it's like at least now you have a place to go. Like now you have like a thought and like a starting point. You know what I mean? It may not be as much as you had, but if a foundation was built on not solid ground, how long is the house gonna stand? I mean, and it's not like you're gonna, it's not like it'll just magically be okay one day. You know what I mean? Like, you have to rip all of, like, if you have a house that's rotting, like if there's wood that's rotting in your basement, like you can't leave that. You gotta at least have that replaced at the very least, you know. If it's just one or two pieces, maybe you can take it out without tearing out a bunch of it or tearing down the whole house. But after a certain point, you just have to tear down the house and rebuild. There's just too much rot and too much stuff to have a solid foundation and a solid house. You know what I mean? Or it's like an apple that has a bad spot. Like sometimes you can cut sometimes you can cut it out, but other times it goes so deep, pause, that you can't get it out. Pause. On that note, no, but seriously, I think this is a really good reading. I mean, as always, I think this is a good reading because it's not sitting here saying like, nope, you're fucked up, you're losing. You know what I mean? Like, this is, you still have a choice to make, but it's, you know that you're kind of like leaning towards this way and letting that stuff go. You know what I mean? There's just a little bit more work to be done, and there's a little bit more trust to be had on your part for what's going on. Yes, it's difficult. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But at the same time, you can't just not trust yourself, and you can't just not trust that things are going to be okay. If you expect things to be horrible and for you to fail, that's the only thing that's going to happen. You know, if you expect things to at least be a lesson and at least be, you know, and leave you okay, then, you know, I mean, at least it was just a lesson. You know what I mean? You didn't fail, you didn't lose your house, nothing fell apart, you know. That's my point. But again, that falls under, you know, trying to be authentically you, or kind of goes hand in hand with being authentically you and being a safe space for other people to be authentically themselves. But yeah, that is all I am seeing for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Again, my website is up. It's NimbusThePoet.com. You can check out my poetry there. I have some of my poetry up. I have my readings available that you can email me for. And yeah. Again, thank you guys for watching. Again, free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free, period. There's no question about it. We cannot stop talking about this. Please, 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 please. Please. If people's ears start to bleed, talk louder. I'm so serious. If they say their ears are bleeding, talk louder. Start yelling even, actually. There you go. But yeah, if you ruin family dinner, please tag me in the video. I didn't tell you to do it, but please tag me in the video, please and thank you. No, but seriously, please do not stop talking about Palestine. Don't stop talking about Congo. Don't stop talking about Sudan. Don't stop talking about anything. We will never be free until we are all free. It's a crazy world we live in, and it's crazy that we still have to fight against slavery and ethnic cleansing and genocide. But here we are, and we all have to do our part. This isn't even a political thing at this point. This is quite literally like, are you a person? Are you a human with feelings? Like, this isn't anymore a political thing. This is children, men, women, grandparents, everybody is being murdered, slaughtered by carpet bombs, and residential blocks being blown up, along with slavery in the Congo, and ethnic cleansing in the Congo and Sudan, and in Palestine, and concentration camps in China for the Muslims there, and the people of Kurdistan. Like, the list literally just keeps going on and on. Do all that you can. And if all that you can do is make a private TikTok video and email your representatives, then do that. You don't have to donate anything if you don't have it. Because if it helps, then why does it matter that you're not spending any money? If you're spreading information that's good information that is actually helpful, or like showing people where to donate, or just getting the conversation going at all, is helpful. If it pisses people off, it pisses people off, but that's because they know that you're probably right, and they also don't want to hear about genocide. And it's not time anymore to stop talking about genocide. Just because we're not dealing with it and we're not living through it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be helping anybody. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that the Palestinian people are terrorists or whatever. We need to look at what's actually going on, and the IOF is actually showing what they are doing, and we are seeing pictures and videos come out of the Congo, and we're hearing people talk about what's going on in Sudan, and we're hearing people talk about all of these things, literal human atrocities that are going on, catastrophes that are fucking happening right now today, and that have been going on. None of this stuff started yesterday. And it should scare you because this stuff has been going on for so long that another one could start tomorrow. Like, I need y'all. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody, but I need y'all to get that. What do y'all think the United States is preparing for? Giving Israel all these new high-tech weapons that shouldn't be used on people, on civilians, on children. What do you think they're trying and testing these for? Why do you think Cop City is being made? Why do y'all think all of this stuff is happening at the same time? Like, come on, I need y'all to hear, I need y'all to see what's going on. Anyway, before I give myself a heart attack, please, 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 keep yourself safe. Keep yourself mentally stable as much as you can be. You know, stay hydrated as much as possible. Do what you got to do, you know. But the second we stop talking about these things is the second we get complacent, and the second we go right back to being okay with these things happening. We got to keep talking about it. We got to stay loud about it. If anything, we got to get louder. Like, I'm so serious. These politicians don't deserve peace. That video of Elizabeth Warren pisses me off to no end, because all of the time, and their reactions are always the same. This isn't the time. It is the time. Yesterday was the time. 3 weeks ago was the time. October 7th, October 8th was really the time to call for a ceasefire, because we knew that this was going to get out of hand. We knew that this was the plan the whole time. There's no way that y'all didn't see this coming. It's been 75 years in the making in Palestine. And y'all still want to say that this is complicated, that this is a war, that this is not a genocide, that Hamas should just surrender. Then why is Israel attacking the West Bank, where there is no Hamas? This was always about Palestinian land. This was never religious. This was never political. This was just intended to only be genocide. That's it. It's disgusting. It's beyond disgusting. And if you are a human being with actual human emotions, you should feel something, and you should be feeling upset, and you should be mad that this is what your government is doing. And if you're not, I don't even know what to tell you, because then you have the problem. I don't have an issue. The only issue I have is with you then. But again, these politicians don't deserve peace. They're the ones voting for genocide and actively contributing to genocide. Even if they're not actively contributing to it, they are actively not trying to stop it. At this point, you should be able to see what is going on. The truth is actually very clear and very apparent everywhere. If you don't want to see it, you, again, are literally closing your eyes and ears. Literally, la, 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 la. Like I said it in a couple other videos, that's literally what everybody's doing at this point, because you refuse to hear it. You refuse to listen. And that's not on anybody else. That's on you at this point. People, the world's changing. The world's changing. Don't nobody want to deal with genocide anymore. Nobody wants to deal with slavery anymore. The fact that all of these things are still able to happen and legal, basically, in 2023, almost 2024, is just fucking insane. But regardless, contact your representatives, email them, call them, whatever you need to do, but contact them. If you can donate, donate. Again, if you wanted to tip me, go ahead and just donate that money to whatever good organization you want to donate it to. And if there's, you know, just please do not stop talking about this. Any information that you find out is worth talking about, because at this point, so many children we've seen literally leave this world. And the fact that we are able to watch it on a phone and turn it off whenever we want to, that in itself is such a privilege that y'all need to understand. And I need y'all to hear me when I say that. The fact that we are watching this through our phones is a privilege. We can turn it off. The people of Palestine, the Congo, Sudan, they don't have the ability to turn this off. It's just happening. The people in Afghanistan, they just dealt with, I think it was like 4 or 5 major earthquakes. It was a lot of major earthquakes this year. We can't even fathom that. The fact that we're able to turn it off and go lay down in our nice warm bed with our many lights around us, with as much fuel in our cars as we can put in there, with as much food in the fridge that we can fit, that is such a privilege. All of that is a privilege. And we need to keep that in mind while we're watching these things happen. They don't have these things. Gaza has no running water, no clean water at that. Barely any water in the first place. No fuel, no electricity, no food, no humanitarian aid. It's winter, they don't have blankets, they don't have houses, they don't have coats, they don't have shoes. I mean, some people have shoes, I'm sure, but like they don't have like winter boots. They're not ready for the winter. We really need to check our own privilege, and we really need to sit here and figure out what it is that we can do. There are things that we can do to help, and there are things that we really need to start doing. Even if that is just calling our representatives and saying, you're going to lose my vote if you keep not voting for a ceasefire. Tell them they're going to lose their job. What, the worst they're going to do is laugh at you. And then guess what? You get to call them back tomorrow and say the same fucking thing. I'm so serious. I mean, okay, I guess you're not talking to them specifically, but like, anyway. Please do your own research. Don't just listen to what the news is saying. Don't just listen to what your racist uncle is saying. Please do your own research. There's a lot more going into this than people are letting on. In the sense of, it's not complicated. There's just a lot of stuff that nobody's talking about, that people refuse to talk about. But yeah. Anyway. Free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we're all free. But yeah. Again, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. I love y'all. Have the day that y'all deserve. Be safe. Peace.